Step number 2 in the best choice process, which again is believing, making easy to do, scheduling it, trusting in your network, and changing if needed. We're going to make it easy to do. Now, I'm not saying that your goals are easy, because they shouldn't be easy. If they were easy goals, you need to have bigger goals. But reducing the friction in trying to accomplish those goals, we can make some of those steps a lot easier. So a little example from my life is I really like my morning routine. So in order to do the things I like doing in the morning, which are waking up, having some positive momentum to get started, doing a cold plunge, going to the gym, and then getting to the office early, this is the only way I'm able to make it happen, so that I've reduced a lot of the friction in the morning. So this is how it works. 5:30 in the morning, I set my alarm. But if I'm going to be waking up 5:30 in the morning, I also value sleep. I try to get, ideally around 7 to 8 hours of sleep. My average is probably around 7, but that means I need to be getting to bed at about 9:30 the night before. So I'm already kind of thinking, to have a successful morning, I need to have a successful evening and try to get in bed at 9:30. The night before, as you'll see in my little picture, I set up my drink I'm going to have in the morning, my banana, I have my headphones and my supplements laid out. When I wake up at 5:30, I go straight to the kitchen, put my headphones in. I listen to my Darren Hardy for his daily, Darren Daily every morning. It's 3 to 5 minutes. It kind of just gets my mind going in a positive way, thinking about positive things. The night before, I lay my clothes out. So all I have to do is stumble into them, get them ready. I have my clothes that I'm going to change into after the gym already laid out. And a lot of times I'll just put these in my car, so I don't even have to even think about in the morning at 5:30 to do anything different, but then getting ready. I've incorporated a new routine at 5:40. I'll jump in the cold plunge. It's in my garage. It's 10 feet away from, where I'm getting dressed in the morning anyway. So at 5:40, I'm in that thing for 2.5, 3 minutes. I'm driving to the gym from 6 to 7 o'clock. I don't have to think about what I'm going to do for the workout, because at CrossFit, they program it for me anyway. I just need to show up and have some effort. I shower because I've already packed my clothes the night before. They're in my car. 9 times out of 10, I'm at my office at 7:30 in the morning, ready to go. So I feel like I get a lot done in those 2 hours, more so that I would get done if I didn't plan it ahead of time and make it a little bit easier by thinking ahead of time. The other real estate example, and this one to me is kind of a funny one, but I was flipping houses for years. And when you're flipping houses, you're always having to connect and disconnect the utilities, specifically the gas bill. So for years, I would say for probably 200 or 300 houses, I don't know what I was thinking, but every Friday, I would just be writing checks. Okay, the gas bill for this property, the gas bill for that property. And there was a time where we were doing 60 houses a year. So that's a lot of properties to be reconciling and paying bills on each week and each month. So the gas bill, the electric bill, whatever bill it was, I was handwriting checks until one day, I realized the obvious, that I could set up all the utilities if I just thought ahead a time and had a process that was easy to solve a complicated process of paying these bills. So now what did I do? I signed them all up on auto pay, which is obvious. I could have done this like years before. But once I did that, holy cow, I eliminated so much time out of my week, and I never had to write a check again. It was all set up on auto pay. And then you guys that are flipping know, how many times have you gone for an inspection or gone to close on a house and you'd forgot to set up the utilities and they were shut off? Maybe the city locked the meter and you just spent way more time. You made your business very much half hard, annoying, lame, and frustrating, when it could have been easy, lucrative, and fun, just by thinking through and setting up an easy process. So we all know what success looks like. It's, we're going to fail. Like I said, this is not making your goals easier. It's just reducing the friction as far as your process and system to get to your goals, because you are going to fail. But when you fail, you learn, you improve, and then you stack those wins, and then you can even do, bigger and greater goals. So you've got to have a recipe for success. You've got to have a process and a goal that you're believing in, and then a system to get there, and then reduce the friction to do those hard goals, and think through the steps that you're doing and how you can systematize those. So for example, in flipping, we really have worked hard on our team to identify how we can do the most complicated flip in 100 days or less. So like we did is we reversed engineer it. We backed into it. What are our pain points? Do we need to schedule plumbers ahead of this? We really have it dialed in before we start. We know exactly how the home's going to finish. So that helps us order products. And, so it's just thinking through at the end in mind, and then thinking about those steps along the way and how can we make it easier and reduce the friction in the complicated process of remodeling a house. Buy and hold. This is another one that's huge if you guys are new to investing. Investing usually requires borrowing a lot of money from a lot of different people. So what that means for you is you need to have your personal financial statement, your net worth statement updated constantly. You got to have your schedule of real estate updated constantly. You got to know where all your bank statements are, your mortgage statements, your tax returns. Keep those all organized and ready so that when it's time to apply for a loan or there's an opportunity out there, the obvious things and the simple things of having your financial packet ready don't slow you down, because the deal itself is going to be hard enough. If I wasn't in a spot or my partners weren't in a spot on the previous video to get that loan to buy that commercial real estate project, it wouldn't have happened, because we'd have spending way more time just getting our financial affairs in order. Do that along the way. This is part of the game of real estate or of life, of having your financial picture, thinking about it, knowing where you're going, and being organized. So what can you make easier to do in your life? How can you reduce friction? So thanks for watching this one. This was step 2 in your best choice process. The first one is to believe, make it easy, which we just talked about. The next video is going to be about scheduling it, then trusting in your network, and change and modify as needed.